Today I fucked up by getting my laptop infected with a virus. I had an idea for a video but I needed an MP3 file for it. Because I didn't have it, I had to download it using a YouTube to MP3 site. The one I often use started being troublesome recently because it would always delete the file once it finished downloading. Due to this, I decided to use a different site to download it. When the audio file was ready to be downloaded, I clicked download and I got a virus. Called the Microsoft Tech Support Team as the alert suggested. The support team helped me with the basic steps but they couldn't finish the process because I needed money. I have to pay them $150 in order to continue the process of fixing it but I sadly don't have the money with me. They recommended for me to not use the laptop until I have the money to get it fixed. I knew that the site I used was unsecured but I really wanted that MP3 file. What worries me is how my mother is going to react when she finds out, which is inevitable. Too long didn't read. I got a virus on my laptop because I used an unsecured site to download an MP3 file from a YouTube video despite knowing that I could risk getting a virus. Update: I managed to deal with the virus without having to reset the PC. I was suggested by someone on Discord about Malwarebytes. I have the software installed so I'm now safe. Fortunately, I had no personal information written inside my computer. Thank y'all for y'all's feedback on this situation. It helped me out. Edit: I also forgot to mention that I had uninstalled UltraViewer from my laptop. I totally agree with getting a professional to look at it or try a hard reset. It sounds like you're missing basic computer sense to avoid this type of situation in the future, so I recommend installing a trusted antivirus, and learning some simple cybersecurity before continuing to use your computer. You need to wipe your machine ASAP. This is a scam and now they have access to your computer. Did you call the number that came up on your screen, or did you look up the tech support number online? Sometimes, a virus that gets put on your computer will redirect your screen to an official looking page telling you need to call a certain number to get your computer fixed. Usually that number is a part of the virus and they are trying to get you to give them access to your computer. Virus removal is actually usually pretty cheap if you haven't given them control of your computer. Go to your local tech/computer shop and they should be able to download some antivirus stuff. I called the number on the screen. They told me to use UltraViewer to give them access to my computer so that they could show me what the problem was. No, you getting scammed. Microsoft does not charge you to remove a virus. You probably don't even have a virus. The original "you have a virus" message itself was a scam. I'm about 99.9% certain of this based on your story. It was most likely a pop-up web page saying you are infected. Google Sophos virus removal tool. Make sure you go to sophos.com to download. Run it, see what it finds, let it fix anything it finds. Today I fucked up by getting a BJ. This past weekend a good female friend of mine, I'll call her Void in case she reads this, and I traveled to a local city for a fun weekend getaway of good food, partying, and some spicy moments. Now I have a minor defect on the old whoopee stick, basically a not 100% completed circumcision. Doesn't cause me any pain, or hurt me, just imagine like a small skin tack that connects head to shaft. Now I don't think about it because I've always had it and it literally never interferes with my daily or sexual life. Now Void has snake 2 lip rings. Snake bites, for those that don't know, 2 ring piercings on the lower lip that have their openings pointed up. I think they are sexy and they have never been an issue, and I'm sure you can already tell where this is going. We get hot and heavy and I request some oral attention. Everything is fine until the end where I pop out and Void lets out a really worried UHHH. My lip ring is caught on something. Riding endorphins. I don't feel much at first, but as her urgency works into my head I snap back and try to move. Worst idea. We are hooked and I'm suddenly feeling an awful pain. After a bit of very careful maneuvering we disconnect and decide to take a break and reflect on what happened with lots of laughing and disbelief. TL, Doctor, incomplete circumcision at birth leads to completely unforeseen consequences of a spicy variety. PS. Sorry for the bad formatting, I'm on mobile. Wow, a lot more people seem to want to see it than I'd imagine. Hopefully in not violating mods rules for posting this image NSFW, and my camera is bad. PPS. Apparently Void is having the time of her life reading these comments and is offering me part in her of. How could it come to this? We must have had the exact same doctor as babies. I just responded separately about how I know someone with this same incomplete circumcision situation, and you too? I wonder how common this is. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to see your penis to get an idea of what you're dealing with. For research purposes, of course. Honestly, if enough people are curious I wouldn't mind. But probably not the right thread to do it in Lamau. This will date me, but this story reminded me of a Chris Rock and his No Sex in the Champagne Room performance. If a girl has a pierced tongue, she'll probably suck your dick. If a guy has a pierced tongue, he'll suck your dick. LOL, go to a doctor and get your dick fixed so it doesn't happen in the future. Literally the conversation we had, Lamau. I had never even entertained the possibility that it would have ever caused an issue, but now I'm gun shy. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? Today I fucked up by making fun of my mother's miscarriage. Before anyone judge me, please read the incident before doing so. This happened couple of months ago and I was reminded of that incident just now. I was an only child growing up and I hated being alone. I wanted a sibling but my parents didn't want to have another child. Until said incident I used to joke that my parents messed up raising their first child, hence they didn't want to make me a sibling or some similar joke. I found it funny but I failed to notice my parents' silence whenever I said that, probably because I was a silly kid. Flash forward to couple of months ago and my dad was helping me with my studies. I'm in med school and my dad is a doctor, and we get to the part about some diseases that cause miscarriages and he said my mother miscarried before having me. Apparently she got pregnant few months after marriage and everything was going great. Everyone from both my mum's and dad's side were happy and celebrating. Unfortunately she miscarried several weeks into pregnancy. She fell into a bit of a depression and it was a dark time for her. Eventually after few months I was conceived and was born with no issues. So that's when I realized I was making fun of a very sad part of my mother's life unknowingly. I felt real bad. Damn. It taught me a lesson: never make fun of pregnancy related dark jokes to a woman. You never know who you'll hurt. In my case it was my mother. TL, doctor. I unknowingly made fun of my mother's miscarriage and made her feel bad for many years. As a now mom who experienced a miscarriage before my son, try not to feel too badly. There's no way you could have known, and I'm sure she understands that. Well, I would, anyway. I'd be proud that my son was so sensitive to something that was totally devastating at the time. Thanks. But still I feel like a dick. I hugged her for a few minutes and just sat with her for a minute after learning about it. Oh, that's sad. Don't be too hard on yourself, you were just a kid and didn't know any better. Yeah, still sad regardless. Man, you were a kid. It hurts, it stings, and it brings out severe sadness for those that have suffered through it. She loves you though. And yes, we lost twin boys. I know the pain. So you effed up by assuming you were their first child. You just didn't know that that wasn't the case. I'd feel bad after learning I had spent the last X years brutally taunting someone about a traumatic event too. But the important thing that you tried to correct the situation when you learned you were wrong. Still I was a dick. Oh man, that's just sad. Try not to go too hard on yourself. You were an uninformed kid and we all know you had no ill intent. It's natural to wanna blame yourself for things like that, but really it's in the past and it shouldn't torment you. Thanks man.